Welcome to the Kern LAFCo Ultra Rare Thursday edition. I hope the state of the county events last night went well. My mom also sends her thank yous for allowing the whole family to get together for a celebration of her birthday last week. We have quite a few items on tonight's agenda, including annexations, committee assignments, more legislative requirements, and a lease agreement. I believe Commissioner Flores has a request to move one of the items up in the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Knox. I might have to leave early. I will stay as long as possible. I would like to ask the chairman for his indulgence and discretion if he'd be willing to move items 8A and 8B first, notice public hearings, and then resume back to the regular order of the agenda.
I 100% agree with that proposal.
Thank you, sir.
So with your permission, we'll do that after public comments.
Okay.
We'll get through that administrative part of the meeting first. A couple of notes before we get going. Although he ran the November meeting, this is Commissioner Zaragoza's first official meeting as chair. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We also have some musical chairs here at the staff table. Patty Menchaca has been promoted to analyst from the clerk position. She'll be running the video conference portion of the meeting tonight. Rochelle Munoz has been promoted from HRA specialist to office administration and clerk. This is her first time doing this. She'll be taking minutes and performing the clerk duties. As this is new territory, it would be extra helpful to make sure you use your microphone, include your name while making a motion, and make sure to get the chair Zaragoza's attention if you like to be recognized to speak. We may have some hiccups tonight along the way, but we'll figure it out as we go. A couple of notes. Where are we? A couple of notes regarding the video conference. For our guests who are in the room, if you are a representative from an agency or here from the general public and wish to speak on an item before the commission, we ask that you use the microphone at the podium. Allow the chair to recognize you, provide your name, any affiliation, and speak into the microphone. We are recording these proceedings and want to make sure you are clearly heard, both in the room and online. For those attending by video conference, which I understand we have a few, if you are from an agency or the public, your microphone is muted until the chair recognizes you and the host unmutes your microphone. There will be an opportunity to speak on specific items on the agenda. Please use the raise hand function to be recognized. The raise hand button is in different places depending on your version and the device you are using to participate. Ms. Menchaca is host is in charge of the Zoom portion of the meeting. If anyone gets disruptive, Ms. Menchaca has the authority to remove them from Zoom. That includes Bud Rice if he's on. Apparently he's talking about joining us. And she doesn't put up with any nonsense, especially from him. If any commissioner online needs to recuse himself, Ms. Menchaca can place them in the waiting room and bring them back out again when the agenda item is completed. When a commissioner makes a motion, please state your name. I already said that. Commissioners on Zoom, please make sure you're unmuted when you vote, as we're recording and need to hear your response. Thank you, everyone, for working with us, and please start the video.
Recording in progress.
And I turn it back to Chair to start the meeting.
Welcome. For those of you who are online and for those of you in person, we are getting ready to start, and as Executive Officer Mr. Knox said, please bear with me. This is my only second meeting. I'm still learning the ropes, but just want to verify, for those of you who don't know, we are LAFCo, not the City or County Planning Commission. Our mission here is to encourage orderly growth and development, preserve ag lands, and ensure the efficient provision of services through thoughtful local agency formation, consolidation, and boundary adjustments. We now have our strategic plan online. Thank you, staff, for uploading that. Appreciate it. According to my notes, I guess I should ask for the roll call.
Commissioner Ayon,
Present.
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Couch, absent. Commissioner Endicott,
Present.
Commissioner Flores,
Here.
Commissioner Fowler,
Here.
Commissioner Arias,
Here.
Commissioner McKibben. Absent. Commissioner Zaragoza.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you for that. The next item is invocation. I'll be giving the invocation, and Barbara Fowler will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. If you wish to stand, please do. Dear Lord, as we bow our heads, we are grateful for the opportunity to gather and serve our community. May we be guided by wisdom, respect, and a shared commitment to the common good. May our discussions be thoughtful and our decisions fair, and our actions guided by integrity and compassion. We thank you for this grateful and humble opportunity to serve. Amen.
Stand. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I'm to be asking the question, is any commissioner attending by video conference? And is that Travis?
I am.
Welcome, Travis. Travis is probably in Ridgecrest as we speak. Tom, do you need to say anything on that?
No, we're using a different approach than we've used in the past because we don't have we're using the standard teleconference provision that's been in the law all the time. So we don't have to do all that we
Okay.
did before.
It's a little bit more streamlined. We appreciate that. And this portion of the meeting is reserved for any requests from commissioners to attend remotely. We already said that. Okay. I need to then move to the approval of the minutes. Do I have a first,
Motion, Commissioner Ione.
second?
Endicott, second.
Thank you for that. Roll call?
Commissioner Ione,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch, Commissioner Endicott,
Yes.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Arias,
Aye.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye. And the result is?
7, all ayes.
Thank you.
Motion passed.
Okay. We're still in the public comment section. This portion of the meeting is reserved for people desiring to address the commission on any matter not on the agenda and over which the commission has jurisdiction. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Is there anyone from the public interested in speaking at this time? Seeing none, thank you.
We have none online as well.
Oh, I forgot to ask that, right. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Need to remind me again which item was moved to the front here?
We're now going to take item 8A and 8B.
Thank you for that reminder. 8A, 1856 City of Bakersfield, a vote is required. The first one is annexation number 722, Ash number 13 in CSA 11, detachments D in County Service Area 12.02, dissolution. This proposal is to annex approximately 88.55 acres located along the east side of Ash Road, generally between Romero Road and Engel. This annexation was initiated by property owner to request access to city services. The area contains approximately 4 residential properties and 5 farms. This proposal does not have 100% landowner consent. The applicant has requested that notice, hearing, and protest hearing be waived. There's a resolution to that effect. I'm going to turn it over to the Executive Officer report.
Yes. So my recollection is this was originally part of a larger property that was annexed a couple years ago that is adjacent to this one. It took a little more time to discuss the project with several of the property owners and is now ready for consideration. A couple of key determinations. Taxation is handled by use of the master tax agreement between the city and the county. It's consistent with general plan, regional transportation plans, or specific plans. There is ag land conversion. It is consistent with commission policies, conforms to the assessor parcels, and we have an indemnification agreement. There is functional overlap with CSA 11 and CSA 12.02. With the dissolution of CSA 12.02, we will either have finished or only have one additional CSA created for school guard crossings that have not been in use for decades. So we finally getting that cleaned up. Initially, water usage will be the same. CEQA is handled by a notice of exemption adopted by the applicant. Affected and overlapping agencies and districts were notified. Information provided has been included in the report and recommendation. We have not received any opposition to this annexation. As such, it is eligible under Government Codes 56663 to waive the protest hearing if there are no protests. It is my understanding that one property owner has concern that they will not be able to drill a new well on their property or repair or replace their septic system. The City of Bakersfield has reached out and provided assistance in answering these questions for them positively. The process required by the Cortese Knox Hertzberg has been followed, including notices to affected agencies and any notices and publications required by law. It is recommended that the Commission consider the environmental document. It is further recommended that the Commission approve annexation 722, Ash Road number 113. 13. To the City of Bakersfield, notice and protest hearing be waived if no objections are raised according to Government Code Section 5663 and subject to conditions recommended by the Executive Officer.
Thank you for that report. Is there any public comment on this item? If so, could you take the podium and state your name and address?
My name is Cami Romero, and I am at 6121 Romero Road. I'm the one that you mentioned had a couple of questions about the well and the septic. I didn't know anything about this. I wasn't privy to knowledge that the annexation was going to happen. I had to call the city and find out why I got a blank envelope in the mail, because it was blank. I got an envelope in the mail, and it said it was from the city planning department. I didn't understand why. There was no letter in it. There was no nothing. So I had to call and track down the information to find out what was going on. That being put aside, I was not a part of the initial petition. I didn't even talk to anybody in the neighborhood until I had called to find out what was going on about the petition. My understanding with any septics and any wells, they're two different issues, and is if the a water well goes down while I'm in the city, if I'm annexed into the city, and a water well goes down and it needs some pretty substantial repairs, which probably isn't going to be the well runs dry because I have a beautiful water table with the reservoirs across the street. But it could be something other substantial, and I might need a permit to get it done. If I do need a permit to get it done and I'm inside of city limits, my understanding is I cannot get a permit. While I'm not being forced to tie into the city, it is my understanding that I might not be able to get a permit if I need it from the city. That being said, it would be kind of for, what's the word I'm looking for? It's functionally compelled to tie into the city because I have no choice if I can't get a permit. If that is one of my major concerns. The other would be the septic. The septic, I understand, it depends on if there's 1,000 foot. If I'm inside of 1,000 feet from the nearest city septic or outside of a city septic, I can get a permit if I'm outside of 1,000 feet from the nearest city sewer. If I'm inside of it, then I have to tie in. I believe that I am outside of the 1,000, so I believe that permit issue wouldn't be a problem. I believe I would be able to get a permit for that if, and God willing, none of this happens, but this is if, I could go ahead and fix that. But the well, I am not, the water well, I am not, I'm not resolved on that. I don't have actual answers on that. And so that's the main problem with me being annexed into the city. I'm on a residence, I represent 3 other families, myself and 3 other families on that same property. We all rely on that well and that septic. And so it would not be feasible for me to have to tie into the city, given the great length. I'm also on a fixed income, so good luck getting me to be able to, spend $20,000 to $60,000 to get over there. There's also another thing that I didn't realize until I was on my way here. I think the notice of hearing has ATN numbers on here. There is another ATN number that is not on here. There is a mobile home that is on my property, but is not attached to the land. So it has its own ATN number. If the land is put into the city, I don't know what happens to the mobile home, because the mobile home's not on here. The mobile home's on my land, but it has its own ATN. It pays its own property taxes. So that might cause an issue. He was going to be here today, but he had to work. So if I could get those things addressed and answered to me, that would help me be more comfortable with moving into the city. City limits. I'm not opposed to moving into the future, but I need answers before I say, yeah, go ahead, let's do it, if that made any sense.
Yes.
Thank you. I think tonight will be your place to get answers. I hope.
What do I do now?
Well, I think we're going to ask for comment from the public on this item. Any more folks who want to address this item?
Okay.
I think I see a hand. Go ahead. Just go to the podium and state your name and address.
Hello, my name is Raymond Roselle. My address is 9109 Abudara Court. And I own 3 of the 5 parcels that are in question on being annexed. I've gotten support from everybody in the annexation, with the exception of Ms. Romero. And all the other property owners have supported, and I provided letters, as well as all the property owners around it, other people that are not in the area, in the annexation area. Also, I've spoken to the Kern Delta. Their position is they stay neutral on these items. They don't oppose it, nor do they endorse it. That's just their policy. I don't really know. I understand Ms. Romero's concerns. I, too, have a house out there. I'm not living in it. I do have a domestic well. I do have sewer. Septic tank. But if sewer and water come to me, I'm very happy to hook up to those services, as opposed to going to the expense of drilling a new well or putting a new septic tank in. I'd much rather be on city services. So thank you for your condition. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Raymond Roselle,
And the address, please.
9109 Abudara Court.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thanks. Thank you.
Any other citizens, residents who want to speak to this topic?
If I have further questions on what you said,
Go ahead.
I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know your procedures.
You're good. Okay.
With respect to being happy if I was able to just tie into the city, well, sure. But right now, if I'm outside of the 1,000 feet, that's not feasible. that's still a long ways to go for me to be able to just tie into the city versus fix my well. It's considerably less amount of money to fix my well, hopefully, and or septic if it does go down. Hopefully it doesn't, you know? I'm just trying to protect and not, and make it feasible for my families and I to be able to afford living there. Because if I'm not giving a permit to get my well fixed, if something happened, I cannot spend the money to go over 1,000 feet to tie into the city. I would like nothing more than not to have to deal with the septic system. I will not lie. But the feasibility is an issue. So me being forced to do it because something happened, that's the problem. If it comes closer later on, then the problem is a little less. Right now, the problem is very far from me. And I don't have a problem tying into anything, but it needs to come closer before I can say, yes, I want to do it. And I need to not have something go wrong with my own stuff that we already rely on to live there. And have done, by the way, it's been in my property, my family, for over 110 years. We've lived there since 1910. And this is the last 3 acres. In fact, part of what he owns used to be in my family. So the 3 acres we have is the last bit that we had. It's the only property that we have with the well. So I'm very comfortable living on the well, but that doesn't mean I don't want to go into the future at some point. But right now, if something happened and something, I can't tie in. And so I'm left with the uninhabitable property because I can't tie into the city until they're closer to me. That's a problem Yep.
My microphone doesn't work. Before you sit down, could we bring up the map? Just to clarify, the 3 acres has multiple properties on there?
Yeah.
Or residents?
Yeah.
And
Well, yes. There's 3 families.
What's your zoning there?
I beg your pardon?
What is the zoning for the
You
property?
know, I don't know. I think it's still ag. I think it's
And
still
so you
ag. zoning.
have,
I beg your pardon?
you have residential properties that are ag-related?
Yes,
Okay. And you're saying fixed income?
I am. I'm disabled. My father passed away a year
Correct. What
ago.
about the other property?
My daughter just went back to work from having some medical problems, and my other daughter just had knee surgery, so she's
Okay.
she's not on a fixed income, but she's on disability.
Okay.
So right now, nothing.
And so how far are you from the road, based on that map? It's kind of hard to see.
Can I go up there to see it?
There's no raster map? Okay.
I'm at that corner right there.
Yeah. Okay. That's right in the middle, okay.
So all of this land right here is already city, from what I understand. I'm the little bitty corner that's on the east side of the canal bank right there. And my well is almost where number 5 is. For the sake of the recording, can we have you go back to the podium? I'm sorry, that scared me.
Yeah, it's a secret room there.
So anyway, I'm that little bitty corner up in I would say the northwest, northeast corner.
I think you've asked some legitimate questions. Anybody else want to speak from the citizen side, want to speak to this project for annexation request?
If we could also remember about that extra ATN, I'm really curious about what would happen to the mobile home.
No, I think that's a legitimate question.
Okay.
And I'm kind of now asking maybe somebody from the city to answer her questions if feasible.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Yazid Alogari. I am the planner with the City of Bakersfield, and this is my project. I did work with Ms. Romero, try and figure out the answers to her questions. As far as the ATN for the mobile home, we don't count it. I know you pay property taxes on it. According to the city, there is only one APN on that property. And anything that gets annexed into the city is kind of grandfathered in. As far as the septic tank, currently there are no water or sewer lines in that area. The closest water and sewer line is along Taft Highway, which is about a little over 1,000 feet to the north. The city does not have any plans to install any water or sewer lines anytime soon. If they do, it would come south along Ash Road. And even if it comes through Ash Road, her property is a little over 1,000 feet away. So if she has a septic, even if there are sewer lines, she wouldn't be required to connect because she is too far away. And so she could request a septic tank permit and we would grant it. I checked with the building department regarding the well. The only answer I was able to get from the building department is if the water pump fails, she could get an electrical permit to fix the electrical pump. As far as the well, there was no answer from the building department. They said they don't issue well permits. I checked with Public Works. I left one person a message, never got back to me. I called the city's Water Resource Board, and they said they don't issue permits either. The only thing they do is they charge a connection fee if there are water lines along the property. They're not aware of any requirement to connect to city water as a requirement, and so I couldn't find any answer as far as a water well. My supervisor, can probably speak on this, but he checked with the county. I believe the county public health, environmental health, and he could speak on that part.
Thank you much for that presentation.
Roque Nino, with City of Bakersfield. I'm the principal planner for our advanced planning unit. I did talk to the Kern County Environmental Health Department, April Rosendo, and she stated that if the well was to fail, the applicant could make a request for an exemption to the water purveyor and then also submit an application, but it would be Kern County Environmental Health who would issue that permit, or at least they will be the oversight. So there'll be a package that you would submit, and it would be Environmental Health who would determine whether there's a permit for a water well.
Even if I'm in the city.
Yes.
They're the only environmental health department in this area, so that's the only place.
And we could help you through that process later. If it ever failed, then you could contact us and we'll walk you through that.
Are there any programs for people who want to tie in if they need to?
You're getting everybody from the city tonight. I'm Gary Hallen, Assistant City Manager. Yeah, these are great questions, by the way. It's helping us on our frequently asked question for future annexation. So this lessons are being learned tonight. Thank you, Mr. Romero. Let me touch on your mobile home. It's not technically a parcel, so let me just describe that a little bit. The way that works is, as Yazid talked about, the land is a parcel. The mobile home is actually a fixture, and so is it a parcel? It does have its own number, but that's just the way that the state has told the county on how to number things. So that fixture runs with the land. So it will be annexed. It won't be kind of hanging out there. It doesn't matter that it's not listed on the annexation document because the underlying land is what gets annexed in. So there won't be this floating mobile home out there. So it's just kind of how the county assessor, how the state kind of documents fixtures as opposed to land itself. So on your other question regarding are there programs, I will say that from the sewer side, it is the city's policy that if at any point, let's say there are sewer lines that come closer than 1,000 feet to your site or to this gentleman's site, that connection fee is something that we can actually have you pay over time, over a 7-year period. And so it's a policy. Yeah, it's a program, so you don't have to pay all of that connection fee all at once. You can pay it on your property tax over a 7-year period. So it's a way for you to kind of pay as you go. It's really the only program that we have set up in terms of sewer. The water, I think Roque did a great job of explaining how you would go about, let's say it is just a pump. you can come to the city and get an electrical permit and get that pump fixed. If the well runs dry, you'd have to go to the county environmental health and go through those processes. But as Roque said, we're a hands-on city and we'll help you do that as well, so. That's true. Whether you're in the county now or in the city, you're still going to go to the county environmental health.
So
Correct.
That's the current case, and that will be the case.
That's
So there's
correct.
no change.
There's no change there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Any other city comments or recommendations? Okay. So now we're going to turn this over to the commissioners. Please, it's the time now if you have any questions on this annexation request. Any commissioners wish to speak?
Through the chair, if I may.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Certainly concerning that you got an empty envelope. I'm assuming that'll be discussed and we'll figure out why, that's going on, because that's important. You had mentioned your trailer. I'm assuming that you're asking, it's not mentioned in this plan, what happens if you want to sell the property? That's my question. Is that grandfathered in, or does that not fit the mold? Because your property is worth what it is right now with the trailer on it. It's grandfathered in with her, but what happens if she wants to sell the land? Does it become less valuable? I mean, is that your I'm trying to help you out a little bit.
Yes, I'm sorry, I thought you were asking that, yes, no, that's, right.
Could you go to the podium so we can capture
And I guess my question
capture
was
everything?
for,
I'm so sorry.
and my question isn't to put you on the spot. My question is to ask the city, because I want to know for my own education as well, because I thought that that's kind of what you were asking. I don't know if you got
No, it is.
an answer.
So it's kind of already a tricky situation with having a mobile home on top of my property that I technically don't own it yet. I'm going to probably buy it, and it'll be a little less messy, but right now it is very messy. But I did that on purpose, and that's a whole nother mess. But if I go to sell it, and this says it's in the county, and this says it's in the city, and they're not together, but they're together, and I already have issues with banks trying to figure out how to get me over into that. And if it's not separate, I don't know how to explain what I'm asking. If it is separate, but it's together, so it either makes my property more valuable, or it decreases the value because it was never included, it's just grandfathered in, I don't know. I don't know that there's any real specific answer there. Is it grandfathered in?
Commissioner Saragosa, may I?
Go ahead.
So.
Thank you.
Maybe Mr. Knox can clarify, but I think if this proceeding moves forward, well, first of all, thank you for coming and expressing your concerns and questions, because they're very valid and important. But if the proceeding moves forward and the annexation is granted, your whole parcel goes into the city.
And
There's
then
no.
that would include,
Yes, everything, the whole parcel.
mobile home, as
Because the
you were
parcel
saying.
includes the mobile home. You don't need to bifurcate that. And if the proceeding does not move forward, the whole thing stays in the county. So either way, it's going to be whole. Yeah, there's no separation.
it doesn't, the ATN doesn't, there's not some.
There's only one
I
APN.
worked a little bit in the.
Yeah, there's only one number, and your mobile home sits on the one number.
Even though it has a separate, you understand where I'm going with that.
They will be together.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
be together. Okay,
Okay.
so, and then your initial concern about water, that's very important, right? I mean, that's
makes my
all the
house
marbles.
habitable, yeah.
So,
I've got 5 grandchildren.
I
need
totally
water.
get it, and so I'm glad you came, and hopefully we're getting you the right questions, the right answers to your questions, but there's no tie-in requirement.
Right. But there's no permit guarantee. That was my,
Well, there is a permit guarantee because the city doesn't do water permits irrespective of annexations. They just don't do it across the whole entire city jurisdiction. They don't do water permits whatsoever, not just your parcel, but the entire city.
I would go to the county.
You would go to the county. So if you need a new one now, you go to the county. If you need a new one in the future, you go to the county. So that should be answered for you. And then there's no requirement for you to tie in, but you have neighbors that want to tie in. and the city provides excellent services. Quite frankly, I think your value is going to go up because city does a better job at services. So these people want to move up. You're going to be held harmless, and I think it's a win-win for this to go forward. But that's just me.
I have no objections to moving forward. I don't have objections to moving into the future.
I mean, what I'm telling you is you're not going to be harmed because you don't have to tie in.
Right.
And
That
you're
was
gonna
why
have,
I
and you're
was
going to have
asking.
water, and there's no requirement for you to get a permit from the city because they don't do it. It's from the county. It's from the county now. It's from the county in the future if this succeeds. So nothing's changing for you.
Okay.
My reason for bringing it up was I want to throw you a life vest, because I thought what you were asking was what you were asking. It didn't necessarily come across.
It didn't answer, and
Okay,
it is
and
now answered.
And you have an amazing city. I mean, there are 3 guys here, and they're going to help you through the process. But
Thank you.
You're very important to us. Coming here, we hear you, and we want to make sure that, that it's clear when you leave here.
I'm sorry to throw you all the curveballs.
You're
I
good.
just
You're
don't-
good.
You're
And
good.
excuse
That's
my
what it's
tone. I'm
for.
just matter of fact.
Well, no, that's fine. I just, like I said, I wasn't privy to what was going on. And so because of that, I didn't get to find out all the information before tonight. I tried.
In these venues, if there was more people like you, there would be a whole lot less problems out there.
Okay, thank you.
We have any more comments from Commissioner? Go ahead.
No, I just-
Commissioner Fowler.
I would like to address.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Ayon.
Yeah, don't worry about the curveballs. We've been told a lot worse than that, so it's all good. Thank you. Thank you for asking and obviously guaranteeing how the process works. So, no further.
Thank you. Commissioner Fowler? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Arias, City Council Member, yes.
Yeah, no, thank you, Chair. Just want to say thank you to city staff and thank you for raising your questions. I think they're perfectly legitimate, and this is the perfect venue to have those conversations. So hopefully we were able to answer those and address those. And I also want to thank my colleague at the county for doing my job for me tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm sure Commissioner Flores doesn't want to be called any more names.
I had my fill this week.
And now, Commissioner Fowler, please.
Well, I'd like Mr. Howland to explain what she would have gotten had the envelope had something in it.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Yazid Alogary, planner with the City of Bakersfield. The envelope that we send out is usually a letter, notice of intention, pretty much us letting the neighbors know that the city intends to annex these areas. It would be a letter, and it would be a map, and that's pretty much it. I did get a call from Ms. Romero saying that she got the envelope and it was empty. I normally just give the packets and everything to our secretary, and they mail it out. I don't know if they forgot to mail it out. I don't recall if she said the envelope was sealed or unsealed. Yes, it was loose, so we don't know what could have happened until then. But she did contact me. I did let her know what we intended to do, and I don't recall if I emailed the attachments. But yeah, this was very bizarre that it would show up empty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Further, I kind of disagree that this is the proper venue for these questions. It really shouldn't, I mean, I'm so glad you've come, and you're a very brave woman, because this is probably requiring a little courage to get up in front of us. But I appreciate the fact that you're here and that you really had concerns that weren't entirely answered for you before you came tonight. So my bugaboo with all cities is notification. So this, and of course, one empty envelope isn't the whole story. I wish that there had been outreach. And I know this annexation came from the community itself, so that's a little different than originating with the city. But gosh, I wish we could do a better job reaching out to people. It's been a concern of mine for years, really. So I won't expect you to answer that. That's kind of rhetorical.
Yeah, well stated, Commissioner Fowler.
Thank you, Commissioner Fowler. We do have a little bit more time. Anybody else want to make a comment? If not, I'll go make my final comments. Thank you. Commissioner Ayon had to step out.
Commissioner Endicott has a question, if I may.
Yes, Commissioner Endicott, the floor is yours.
So my major question is, if the well breaks down or has a fault,
how long is the process that you were talking about getting the lady in the audience the proper paperwork done and from well faulting to being fixed? What's that process look like?
I believe that question is for the county, but I don't know if Supervisor Flores wants to.
Yeah, no, I would defer that to environmental health, which is under public health. It depends on staffing, it depends on the private contractor, on a number of issues, availability. I wouldn't want to comment, but.
Chair, if I may, I just want to share, I think it's a perfectly legitimate question, but
Good
for
question.
the purposes of tonight's agenda item, I just want to be clear that it's still the same process, it's still the same entity that will be processing that application. And so it's my understanding that whether you are annexed into the city or still remain in the county, that process is going to be unchanged. And it's reasonable to believe that timeline should be relatively the same.
Thank you for that comment.
And I think, if you really want to drill down on the time, if you contact environmental health, they can maybe give you an estimate. But I don't know offhand. I wouldn't feel comfortable answering that.
Okay, Commissioner Endicott, did you have another question? I think that was a legitimate question, and we can't answer it right now, but I would assume the county will be very responsive to making the timeline short because
Yes.
the resident needs the water. Any other questions? Yeah.
No, that was good enough. Thank you.
Any more questions before I close? Not close, but give my comments. So, Ms. Romero, thank you. It was brave of you to come here. I do have a question for you. If you could go to the podium. Did we answer your questions? First one is on the mobile home. I think that was pretty straightforward how to explain. A little complicated, but looks like it's just going to be one ATM.
I do understand that.
Second question is on the septic tank. You are more than 1,000 feet, and to my knowledge,
Even if it runs down Ash Road, I'm still just outside of
yeah,
1,000
and to my
feet,
knowledge,
so-
there's no nearby sewer line. So, if your septic tank fails, you go
I still can
through
just get a permit.
get a permit. Likewise, for the water well, that's a little bit more complicated. But if the electrical line or electrical pump quits, you go to the city, and then if there's a well problem, you go to the county. Is
Which
that
is what I would do anyway.
right?
So that doesn't change.
So
So
we're
it sounds like really nothing, as someone said earlier, nothing is really changing for me, other than I would have the opportunity to tie into the city if I had the means to.
correct.
And if, when they do move closer, if I'm in the city, well, then I have a better opportunity to do that at that point.
So, if we've answered your questions, how do you feel about the annexation request now?
I'm still nervous, but I
Is that a
think I'm
yes
okay.
or no or maybe?
I don't think I have any more questions.
No, but as far as
Oh, do I object to it?
more or less,
Gosh, I would hate to say yes and no. No. I don't
thank you
object.
for your comment. I appreciate your frankness. Any other comments before I turn it over to the, I guess, roll call vote? First of all, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion in support of staff recommendation.
Do we need
Commissioner
a
Flores?
second? Sorry, do we need a second?
Yes, we do.
Commissioner Arias will make the second.
Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
No.
Commissioner Arias,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza,
Aye.
motion passed.
Bye.
5 ayes, 1 no.
Thank you for that, Madam Clerk. The second item is 8B, 1866, City of Bakersfield. A vote is required. Annexation number 723, Bell Terrace number 1, Island Annexation Process. This proposal is to annex approximately 111.33 acres located generally on the corner of White Lane and South Union Avenue. This annexation was initiated by the city of Bakersfield, on behalf of area residents to request access to sewer and water services. The proposal does not have 100% landowner consent, and the applicant has been notified that notice hearing and protest hearing will not be waived. And there is a resolution. Executive Officer, for your report.
Yeah. The city of Bakersfield has been anxious to get this annexation completed for some time. It's good to see Mr. Hallen back to explain why. As noted, this is an island annexation, the property being 99% surrounded. Not only is the city taking in property for development, but also a roadway that would normally continue to be in the county. That would be the peninsula to the west of the Belterra. To the west, that is Belterrace. If you could put the map up, please. Taxation is handled through the master tax agreement. It's consistent with the general plan, regional transportation plan, or specific plan. There is no ag land conversion. It's consistent with commission policies. The assessor parcels conform. We have an identification agreement and no functional overlap. Initially, the water supply should be the same, and CEQA is handled by notice of exemption adopted by the applicant. Affected and overlapping agencies and districts were notified and no comments were provided. We have not received any opposition to this annexation. As such, the annexation is eligible under 56-375.3, which is the island annexation that allows the waiver of a protest hearing. Under this section of law, if the proposed annexation meets all the requirements, which it appears it does, the commission is required to approve. It's one of the few areas under state law that doesn't grant the commission discretionary power, unfortunately. The process required by the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act has been followed, including notices to affected agencies and any notices and publications required by law. It is recommended that the commission consider the notice of exemption filed by the applicant. It is further recommended that the commission approve annexation 723, Bell Terrace number 1 to the city of Bakersfield. No protest hearing will be conducted per Government Code Section 56-375.3 with the finding that the property is 99% surrounded. This annexation is subject to conditions recommended by the executive officer.
Thank you for that report. Do we have any public comments? I guess either in person or online? Seeing none. We have any commissioner comments? Yes, Commissioner Fowler?
I've stated before my opposition to island annexation law. I know it's the law. And in the past, we've been asked to say, what percentage would convince you? Well, 99% did. However, I'm interested in the opposition. Maybe Mr. Hallen could answer that. Why it's not 100%. Did they get an envelope that was empty, so they didn't know about it, or I'm going to use that a lot, Gary. I apologize. But how did the people know about this annexation, and why would they oppose it?
I'll go to your very last question. I honestly don't know why they would oppose this. In the staff report, it talks about that this is 100% commercial, right? There's no one living in this section. I think that's of interest to us. Also, we had several islands that the city was undertaking, completing those throughout the last 3 years. This is really the last one that we see is 99% surrounded. There's like this little section that's not. So it really makes sense for us in terms of it. No residents, 100% commercial. In fact, the only business that actually exists out there, we did 2 rounds of, so as Yazid talked about earlier, there's the normal letter that we send with the map and how they're surrounded by the city. And we did an extra mailer to make sure that there was no questions or concerns. I think 2 or 3 of the 9 property owners are out of the area. So we also wanted to understand, did they really understand what this is? I think there were 2 from Southern California, 1 from Las Vegas. So we didn't hear anything back from any of our mailings, the 2 mailings that we did for this annexation. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you for that. Any more commissioner comments, questions? I don't see any.
Motion to approve Fowler.
Thank you.
Second, Clark.
Roll call vote.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Yes.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
Motion passed, 6 ayes.
Thank you for that. The next proceeding item is 7A, I believe. 1855 North of the River Sanitary District. Vote is required. Annexation number 118, CSA 71, Detachment Z. This proposal is to annex 4.46 acres of land located west of Mohawk Street between Krebs Road and Hagman Road. This annexation was initiated by the district at the landowner's request for the purpose of providing water, sewer on potential development of an RV park on the parcel in the future. The proposed annexation overlaps with CSA 71, which provides sewer planning services. The county has requested detachment from the CSA. This proposal has 100% landowner consent. The applicant is requested that notice, hearing, and protest hearing be void. Resolution. Executive Officer report, please.
This annexation is a small logical extension of the district boundaries to bring a single parcel into the area served by the district's collection and treatment system. The action aligns with service boundaries with actual and planned service needs and improves long-term administrative clarity for permitting connections and operations. District Board material shows the annexation is limited in scope and target to 1 assessor parcel rather than a broad area-wide expansion. CSA 71 provides an overlapping service. As such, the county has requested detachment. Environmental review, the district provided a notice of exemption. No change in taxes will take place. This is a 4-fee district. It's consistent with the general plan, regional transportation specific plan. There's no ag land conversion. It's consistent with commission policies. The assessor parcels don't quite match up because 30 feet of one of the parcels was taken away to widen Mohawk when Mohawk was widened. So that's a little off, but we know what that is. So that property didn't go away. We just drive on it now. We have an indemnification agreement. Again, the functional overlap with CSA 71 and the sphere of influence it's within the district's sphere of influence. Initially, the water supply will be the same, and I mentioned notice of exemption. There is 100% landowner consent, allowing the commission to waive protest hearing. It's recommended that the commission review and consider the environmental document adopted by the applicant. It's further recommended that the commission approve annexation 118 to North of the River Sanitary District Number 1 with detachment to CSA 71, waiving notice, hearing, and protest hearing, and subject to conditions recommended by the executive officer.
Thank you for that report. Any comments from the audience? There's nobody here. Any comments from online audience? Okay, none. Any commissioner comments or questions? Not seeing. Oh, go ahead.
Motion to approve Fowler.
Thank you.
Flores, second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Aye.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
Thank you. We're at 7B, which is 1861 Greenfield County Water District, vote required, annexation number 50. This proposal is to annex approximately 50.74 acres of land located east of Highway 99, south of Hoskins Road, and west of South H. The annexation was initiated by the district to annex a parcel at the landowner's request for the purpose of obtaining a supply of domestic water where no other source of domestic water is reasonably available. This proposal has 100% landowner consent, and the applicant has requested that no notice hearing and protest hearing be waived. There is a resolution to that. Executive Officer report, please.
We're on a roll, and unfortunately, I'm probably going to stop it right here. On the surface, this annexation appears to be fairly routine. As such, I want to recommend approval. However, there is an issue with how CEQA has been applied that we, as a commission, need to work through. This proposal concerns 50.74 acres located within the district's sphere of influence in South Bakersfield. The area is already planned for commercial use under the City of Bakersfield's general plan, and it carries C2 commercial combining zoning designation. The district is seeking extended potable water service to parcels that currently have no access to potable water. This is in essence an infill annexation, aligns service boundaries with existing land use expectations, supports more consistent and efficient water service delivery. There is no change in taxation as the district is fee-based. It's consistent with general plan, regional transportation, or specific plan. There is no ag land conversion. I believe this is inconsistent with commission policies, and I'll get back to that. Conforms to the assessor parcels. We have an indemnification agreement, and there is no functional overlap other than with Kern County Water Agency, which provides a different type of water service. Water usage will increase as building and operations of facilities will require additional water to be provided. So under CEQA, the applicant turned in a completed annexation with a notice of exemption to meet CEQA requirements. As the application is complete, I am required to bring the proceeding to the commission. In the application, there is data that clearly shows there is an active project associated with this annexation. The application discusses 2 phases with specific acreages and specific water needs for each phase. As such, the applicant looks similar to the Buena Vista Water District annexation in which LAFCo was sued by Kern Water Bank Authority. In Kern County Water Bank Authority versus Kern LAFCo, the appellate court held that if an annexation is a step in a larger physical project with potential impacts, you can't isolate the boundary change and call it exempt under the no possible impact test. As this annexation has similarities that point to an ongoing project by acknowledging phases in the project and specific water use, I believe it would be irresponsible to bring this proceeding before the commission without bringing this issue forward. I don't want to put the commission in a place where it looks like the court ruling has been ignored. Both myself and staff have reached out multiple times to the applicant requesting further justification for using a notice of exemption and have not received an adequate response. What makes this difficult, it's 100% consent. It's one property owner, and so we know there's consent there. Earlier this week, I informed Mr. Schroeder of the issue. We have gone back and forth, as this is often the case, and I suspect you'll want to hear from your attorney on such matter. So I've asked him to be prepared. But I think my recommendation at this point is that we continue this item until next month and hold a closed session item to discuss this as a legal matter. So with that, unless Tom has something he wants to add to it, I think that's my report.
Thank you for that report.
Well, I have no problem with wanting to delay it. I have one thing I need to say. The attorney for Greenfield is a close friend of mine. He's actually performing services for me with one of my districts. He's been a special water district water attorney for that district for many years. And so I've told the executive officer, that if it is continued, I would want the alternate attorney to represent the commission in that case. Otherwise, I have no objections to Blair's analysis. I think I told him that the notice of exemption is similar to every notice of exemption I've ever filed, but it's a different set of circumstances. And so he's had more of a chance to study it than I have, and so I don't have any objections to his reasoning and his recommendation.
Just very quickly, our backup attorney is Isaac St. Lawrence, who's also the attorney for Buena Vista. So he's not going to have to do a whole lot of research on this topic. He knows it as well as we do. Yes. So I will, if this is the direction the commission wants to go, I will reach out to him and bring him up to date on where we are with this annexation and this issue.
Well, thank you for that enlightening discovery there. I appreciate you catching that. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the commissioners on that?
Phew.
Yeah.
If I may.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Just curious to know, and yeah, I agree, great catch. What's the communication been like with the applicant about this issue?
They didn't really send us much of anything. They just kind of ignored the issue. They sent us, so let me back up. I asked specifically, Patty has asked, but Patty has also asked other people for other information. She's gotten the other information, but not specific to the CEQA issue. And we reached out at least 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And it's been to Quadnoff, who's their engineer, it's been to the district, it's been to their attorney. All 3 have been included on those correspondence. So, we've reached out, and I think it's a good annexation. But I also want to make sure, my job is to protect the commission. That's part of what you hire me for, and it's part of what you hire Tom for. And so I want to make sure we get this right before we say yes or no, or, move forward. So.
Thank you for that. Having some experience with CEQA, I'm reading the guidelines. A multiple phase project must be analyzed as a whole to address the total undertaking rather than splitting it into smaller parts to avoid environmental review. Specifically regarding segmented projects, phasing cannot be used to segment projects to evade full CEQA review of future impacts. So, as I understand it, their Greenfield Water District has issued a categorical exemption. Is that correct?
It is. I think we should talk about this in closed session.
Right, but the point is, if it's going to be fixed, which I think we should discuss that, fixing that, because the last thing we want to do is get sued again, it's an easy fix since they own the property, 100% landowner consent, which means they redo the CEQA, in my opinion, which it's not that hard to do. So I concur with your recommendation. If there's a closed session required, I'm all for it. So what is the vote?
We need a motion.
Are you asking us for a motion to table?
With Travis, we still have 5.
Travis, you still there, I hope? Thank you.
I am. I'm still here.
Don't go anywhere, we need you. So what motion should we, is it a motion to accept is your motion to the commission to table it?
My recommendation is that we continue the item till next month and hold a closed session to discuss the legal issues surrounding the CEQA portion of this annexation.
I'm in favor, and I'm the first one to say that's my motion. Do I hear a second?
Endicott, second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Arias,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza,
Aye.
5 ayes, motion passed to continue.
Thank you. We have some commission items, and I believe they're informational and they're chair committee assignments. I hope that's the next step. There's no requirement for a vote, but I'm going to turn over to the executive officer for a report.
Yeah. There are two standing committees. There's a policy committee, which meets irregularly, and a budget committee, which has not met in the 9 years that I've been here. If possible, I try to bring items straight to the commission. The committee assignments are at the discretion of the chair. The idea of the configuration of each committee is to have one of each category of commissioner to bring a balanced perspective. There are 4 spots on each committee. With 9 commissioners, we have 1 city member left over that we name as an alternate. And again, this year, that's Mr. Endicott. So thank you, Mr. Endicott, for being our alternate again this year. That's my report.
Any commission comments, questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Fowler.
I was looking at our website, and under protest hearings or protest forms, we have a couple of forms that are very simplified. They are not adequate. Those that we got in our packet today to look over are the more official ones that require things to be dated by a certain date and signatures to be exact and so on. I think we need to update our website so that we have a better, more official protest. And then, isn't it true, Mr. Knox, that if I'm a landowner and a registered voter, I can protest under both?
That is correct.
But I don't think we have anything that says so. The forms do not say so. Our website doesn't say so.
Okay,
I think that needs to be added.
we'll look into it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that comment, Commissioner Fowler. I think next item is general business, unless there's a question on the committee assignments. And I believe I'm going to turn that over to the executive officer for approval of monthly expense list.
I have nothing to add.
And, vote is required.
Motion Fowler to approve.
Flores, second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
Motion passed, all ayes.
10B is a similar request, approval of monthly expenses. I guess I should say the list number is 2512, vote required. Any comments?
Motion Clark?
To approve, go ahead.
Second Fowler.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
Motion passed, all ayes.
The next item is 10C, and this is approval of lease agreement, vote required. Executive officer report.
Our current lease at 5300 Lenox Avenue expires in April. I have negotiated a new 3-year lease with the property owner, which also includes an optional 2-year extension. Initially, the owner requested a 6% increase in the first year, but I was able to bring him down to 3%. If you can, which you'll see reflected in the agreement before you. Even with that adjustment, the lease rate for the building remains among the most reasonable in the area. I also look closely at options of relocating. Based on current estimates, moving would cost approximately $20,000, about half for moving the office furniture and half for uninstalling and reinstalling our server and other critical equipment. Beyond the financial cost, a move would significantly disrupt our operations at a time where our operations are already disrupted. Recently, I had a conversation with Jay Schlosser, the new executive director here at Kern. He shared that COG is in the process of hiring additional staff and reducing the number of remote work days for existing employees. As a result, their office space availability will be shrinking. We currently have 5 staff members who work in the office a substantial amount of time, and there simply isn't enough space for us within the COG suite to accommodate everyone. Additionally, we're in the midst of training. I've already mentioned that, and you know that. I'd also like to briefly share another part of my discussion with Mr. Schlosser. Beyond office space, he raised the possibility of LAFCo and COG partnering to share certain services, a topic which I have some knowledge. One immediate area where collaboration could be highly beneficial is GIS support, specifically producing maps and legal descriptions, preparing display maps, and completing consistent audits with the county so our service boundaries and data sets remain synchronized and accurate. Mr. Rice has been working on these tasks during slower periods for several years and has made progress, but it remains a significant workload. A shared service agreement could allow us to accelerate this work and ensure higher long-term accuracy and efficiency. These discussions are still very preliminary. I do not have a timeline yet for when the proposal might be brought forward, but I will keep the commission fully informed as this develops. With that, I turn back to the lease and recommend approval of the lease as presented.
Thank you. Any comments from the commission on that item? I do have a follow-up comment on the shared lease agreement, potentially, with Kern COG. If that was feasible, you might want to refresh my memory. I know you did report on this last time, that we have currently an agreement with former Deputy Executive Officer Rice, and he's doing, on a contract basis, GIS work, to my knowledge, for LAFCo, Kern LAFCo, but it's for 6 months, I believe, or something like that.
He's technically still an employee. He's been reassigned as a part-time temporary employee.
Okay, all right.
The idea is, I think it's going to take about 6 months before Patty is at a place where she's not going to be training Rochelle as much and has a little more time to work on it, on GIS, and learn how that works and become competent in it.
Right.
It's not, 6 months was an estimate. I don't know how long it's going to take.
I know.
But there's additional work beyond what we're asking Bud to do now, which is getting those maps that we have and legal descriptions that we have that are inconsistent with the county brought up to being accurate.
I'm kind of giving you a personal opinion, professional opinion, since I've worked with Kern COG, that they would be a really good backup GIS support service in the event, Patty's busy and can't get to this right away, and maybe look at a shared agreement service within 6 months to see if that's feasible, because they know Kern County and they have GIS staff, and it would be kind of a nice way to make sure there's no gaps after 6 months. That's just my personal opinion, but I'll defer to your professional expertise on that when you get down to looking at that in the future. Any more comments on that before we go to the next item? Was that required a vote?
It does.
Yeah,
Okay.
motion on
So
lease
sorry.
agreement. Flores?
Second from Arias.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Clark?
What'd you call me?
Commissioner Clark?
Just teasing. Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
Motion passed, all ayes.
All right, we're at 10D, as in David. Consideration of changes to policies and regulations. Senate Bill 489. There is a vote required, and I'll turn it over to the Executive Officer for report.
Yeah, the California State Legislature passed and the governor signed SB 489 into law. The new law requires changes to the commission's policies and procedures for the evaluations of proposals. During this process, it's become clear that several outdated sections need revision to be in compliance with the existing laws, regulations, and current operations of the commission. In your packet, you will find 3 recommendations along with background information. 1, proposed changes to Kern LAFCo's policies and procedures for evaluation of proposals in order to comply with SB 489. Proposed changes to Kern LAFCo's regulations and fee schedule. These are things you've already approved, but were not specifically put back into that document. and combine the two documents, the policies, procedures for the evaluation of proposals, and the regulations and fee schedule. For your convenience, staff has redlined the policies, regulations, and fee schedules, as well as a copy of SB 49 and the documents that are now required to be part of the policies. No material changes were made to the document. Staff plans to bring back a separate document with modifications for the commission to consider. Depending on how many changes and how significant they are, there will be a decision of whether to take this to the policy committee or straight to the commission. With that, I recommend approval as presented.
Any comments from the public? Seeing none, any comments from commissioners? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion, Fowler.
Endicott, second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Arias?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
We're at 10, General Business E, Workplace Violence Protection Program, Plan Adoption and Training Continued. Informational, Executive Officer report, please.
In November, we tried to complete the Workplace Violence Protection Program training as part of our scheduled meeting. Due to technical difficulties, there was no sound. We found out later that we needed to turn the sound up on the TVs themselves instead of at the computer. And now that we know that, we hopefully have it fixed. I went back and read through the requirements, ran it by legal counsel, and determined that the commissioners can complete the work on your own and sign an affidavit so that you have completed the work. If you haven't already, please finish the assignment and return with signatures by February 18th. It's informational, but I just want to say I recommend you getting your work completed or else. But now I'm sensitive enough not to know better to say that. So there's no recommendation involved.
Thank you for that. Reminder, we're at 10F, Executive Officer Miscellaneous Items.
Oh,
Information.
Chairman Zaragoza,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Okay, let me back up. We do have a question from the Commissioner.
So I was able to watch it and go through the testing purposes. How is it that you want us to sign that affidavit saying that we completed it and get it to you?
Do you want to answer that?
Mr. Endicott, yes, please just email us back and letting us know that you've completed the course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And that was Patty. Thank you, Patty. You know what, I've lost my spot. Is it miscellaneous items?
Executive Officer
Okay,
Miscellaneous,
go ahead.
yes. Coming soon, we have ethics certificates and Form 700s. Be looking for these from staff in the coming weeks. For many of you, this means going through the process with your respective county, city, or special district, and including LAFCo on your forms for preparation. The state is not done with us for legal issues. Under the Unruh Civil Rights Act, attorneys are now arguing that inaccessible public-facing digital content, including PDFs, are a form of discrimination against individuals with disabilities. This has placed significant compliance pressures on agencies, particularly those with large inventories of documents. Historically, available options have not been workable, but today, due to technology, we can make a lot of PDFs readable and accessible for those with disabilities. But it takes work to do that. There's two ways of doing it. Adobe Pro, which we have, has a suite of tools, but it's very difficult to use. And we've got close to 3,000 pages on our website now. And so to take a significant portion of those and sit down and make all of them PDF ADA compliant would be very significant. There are remediation services. They cost around $7 per page, which becomes unmanageable for agencies with more than 3,000 pages. Even if we paid to have the backlog, we're always adding to the site. Our website provider, Streamline, has a program called Doc Access, which allows them to solve the problem for us, but not without paying for it. Get down. Essentially, it costs $150 per month, which includes automated HTML transcripts, ERA, AI tools, table of contents, navigation, and translation. Okay. The part I like best, this is the second, where they have an indemnification agreement with us, which adds $10,000 in legal indemnification offered as an additional layer of financial protection in case what they say that they have made ADA compliant is. If someone sues us, they cover us for at least the first 10 grand. So that's something that we're looking into. So I wanted to bring that before you. It's additional expense. Probably we'll add it as part of the budget for next fiscal year. Speaking of the budget for next fiscal year, I will begin working on the budget for 2026, 2027. I can't believe that we're getting into 2027 already. In February, I do that so I can bring a preliminary budget in March and a final budget in April. I typically have a good handle on the expenses of the commission, but this year I will need to perform some guesstimation, easy for me to say, due to not having actual numbers from the county auditor controller. As of earlier this week, the last month to close is September. I don't know how much the county has charged for certain services, nor do we have an account balance. So I will do the best I can with the numbers that I make up. It's unfortunate that we're still having this issue. Lastly, on my list, you're probably wondering how we are doing with our departure of Mr. Rice, and that's a fair question. Training is going well, staff is growing, whether it's learning procedures or changes in how we all communicate with each other. And responsibilities have changed. I'm taking on some of Mr. Rice's communications. Patty is both learning the analyst position and teaching the clerk position, and Rochelle is being a sponge. I can't sit here and tell you that everything is going smoothly. It's not. We are finding out that there are items that we do not have the expertise or knowledge, but we are identifying those items and actively looking for solutions. We're also finding areas that may have been less of a priority than what they should have been. There are items that I have wanted to get to that I don't have time to address right now. This includes some of the items of the strategic plan that we finished earlier this year. I do want to get back to them, but right now the priority is let's get everybody on the same page here in our office. In a way, I see this as a good thing. We are forced to evaluate how we are doing our work, and we are being stretched, and that's always a good thing to do once in a while and really evaluate how we are operating as an agency and as a commission. So I'm optimistic about where we're headed, but you know, we're expecting a few bumps along the way.
Thank you, Executive Officer, for that update. I'm going to say something here, but I want to verify we don't have a closed session item on number 11, correct?
We do not.
Okay. So we're almost at the adjournment, but just to kind of recollect or recap, I think at some point, prior meeting last year, memory is going really bad. I think I was suggesting that there'd be like a line item in the agenda for miscellaneous commissioner comments, just to kind of let people share. So I don't see that, and I would recommend that you could put that on the next agenda. And I will open it up right now. Is there any? Yes, I see. I see one commissioner saying yes.
Indeed, there is. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to share and maybe apologize because I will, for the most part, be representing the city of Bakersfield moving forward throughout the rest of this year. I've been asked by Councilmember Gonzalez that as he looks to his assembly race and this November election, that I take his place and represent the city of Bakersfield at LAFCo. So, of course, he preserves that right should he wish to come, but I want to apologize because you may have to deal with me moving forward. So, thank you.
Thank you for the comment. You don't have to apologize. You're always welcome. And we hope you can be here as long as you can. And yes, I hadn't seen Andre in a while, so that's what he's doing. Okay, good to know. Anybody else? Okay, so on that agenda item, is that okay?
It is.
You can add that as insert. Well, other than that, I forgot my bell. I actually have a bell at the home, so I'm going to use my pen. Adjournment, and see you at the next scheduled meeting next month. Thank you.
And